The Japanese Grand Prix is on this weekend, guys. Suzuka Japan hosts round 3 of the Formula 1 World Championship and gets us underway for this triple header as we head into the Middle East after that. But let's focus on the land of the rising sun. Let us focus on the drivers that I'm going to be paying special attention to during this race. And where else are we going to start other than with Yuki Tsunoda? So for those who have been living under a rock and missing all of my recent videos, Yuki Tsunoda is now a Red Bull Racing driver. He has swapped seats with Liam Lawson after the opening 2 rounds of the season. Tsunoda goes into his home race, which I would have highlighted for him anyway, but I absolutely have to highlight him now because he has a genuine chance of a very good result this weekend to please the home crowd. Now, Tsunoda has said that the RB21 is not that difficult of a car to drive, despite the fact that the likes of Lawson and Perez historically have really struggled in that Red Bull second seat. He sounds confident. I hope it works out for him. I hope he gets at least points in his home race. Historically, this hasn't been the best track for him. He was beaten here by Lawson, ironically, when they were both driving for AlphaTauri in 2023. I hope he's going to do well, but honestly, with how difficult of a track Suzuka is, I am not ruling out some sort of incident with him just being a bit lackluster, like Lawson has been in that car too, but we'll see what happens there. I did mention Lawson there, and of course I have to highlight him as well. He's going to be one of the guys that we're going to be looking at this weekend. How is he going to react to being demoted after just 2 rounds? It's going to take a bit of belief and self-confidence, really, to be able to get back on track when it comes to that. His confidence was clearly knocked by that Red Bull Racing car. I've already had my say on whether I think it was the correct decision to demote him or not. Personally, I don't think it was. No disrespect to Tsunoda. I'm very happy the fact he's in a Red Bull car, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of pressure on Tsunoda now to perform, and also on Liam Lawson as well. We've seen drivers be demoted and go on a bit of a downward spiral since then. Think of Daniel Kvyat back in the day. It took him a long time to recover, and even then he never truly recovered to what he was before. So yeah, I'm a bit fearful for Lawson, but this is a track he knows very well. He's raced here in F1, he's raced here in Super Formula as well over the years, so I think he's going to do quite well. But yeah, if he gets beaten by Hadjar, I think it's going to be a big confidence hit that he's going to take, really. It's going to be difficult for him. Speaking of difficult, though, Fernando Alonso, he's had a difficult start to the year, to say the least. His teammate Lance Stroll, who is constantly mocked online for his lack of performance, has managed to score points in both of the opening rounds of the season. Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, is the only one of the 20 Formula 1 drivers to not be classified, retiring in both of the opening rounds of the season. He spun off in Australia due to the wet conditions, and he retired in China after just a few laps due to his brakes being on fire. I hope Japan at least is a weekend where he can continue, get some form back in himself. He's not been looking the quickest, in all truth, and even when the car has been on the track, it's not looked good. Although that Aston Martin is better than probably he was expecting it to be, but right now it's not really paying anything for him at the moment. It's not really doing well. I hope he's going to get at least points in the land where he has won twice previously back in the day, and also had some incredible overtakes as well. Look at his 2005 one on Michael Schumacher, 20 years ago now, that is. 20 years ago, wow. 2005 was 20 years ago. I still can't get over that fact. But yeah, I'm really hoping he's going to get a good result. The Spanish samurais, I like to call him. Let's hope for a points finish, at least for him this weekend. Let's talk about Ferrari, though. We have to talk about Ferrari. We have to highlight a Ferrari coming into this one. I'm going to highlight Sir Lewis because this is a track where he's won 5 times in the past. If he manages to win this weekend, he will match Michael Schumacher's all-time record. Who else has won a lot of times around Japan? Look at my video that'll be out around the same time as this one, probably after, actually, going over the most successful drivers in the history of the Japanese Grand Prix to get a lowdown on that. But yeah, double disqualification obviously in China. Very bittersweet weekend for Ferrari and Hamilton, of course, because Hamilton had managed to win the sprint race before that on the Saturday. Hopefully during a Grand Prix distance his car is competitive, but honestly I'm a bit pessimistic about this Ferrari because I got a feeling just to avoid the double disqualification they might well run the car very conservatively as a result, but we'll see what happens, guys. I am optimistic they'll do better, but they literally got nothing in China in the Grand Prix, so it's hard not to do any worse. And let's talk lastly about Alexander Albon, up in 6th place in the championship in a Williams. Can he keep this form going? This is a much more technical track than China and also Australia. This in theory should be a track where Williams struggle, but they've been so good so far this year, have Williams, in particular in the hands of Alex Albon. Albon, I seem to remember as well, had a very good drive here for Red Bull back in the day. I'm sure he started back at the back of the grid. It would have to have been 2019, and I'm sure he came back for solid points, pulled off some incredible overtakes down into that chicane back in the day. So I'm hopeful he can do well. I'm not expecting too much from Williams personally. I think if they get any points from this event, it will be very good for them. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them, I think, because of the technicality and complexity of this track. But hey, they've surprised us so far of Williams. They're doing really well, and of course they are above Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, aren't they? Yes, they are. Well, level on points, as it were, but above them, 4th against 5th on countback. So yeah, we'll see what happens, guys, in this one. I'm really looking forward to this weekend's event. Who do you think is going to win, though? My money would definitely be on Oscar Piastri. I think he's going to come in with a lot of confidence. But then again, you know, Lando Norris, he's a great driver as well. So I think the McLarens are going to be the heavy favourites. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we could get a surprise 3rd winner in 3 Grand Prix this weekend. Let's see. Max Verstappen, of course, has won the previous 3 in a row. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you want to see more like this, guys, and have a fantastic weekend. Have a great week ahead, and let's hope for a fantastic Japanese Grand Prix this weekend at Suzuka as well.